Welcome to Casually Cultured, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with another video. This one is going to be a conversation, and I'm so excited to do this one because it's going to be fun. But before we get to that conversation, I have to say this. Thank you so much. My goal this year was to get to 100 subscribers. Currently, at the time of this recording, we are at 98. And to everyone who has subscribed, thank you. I am so appreciative of it. I love you guys so much. We only need 2 more left to reach the goal, and I think we can do it, especially with this video coming up right here. So I want to say that. Also, I want to say 2026 is going to be a whole new year for Casually Cultured, all right? I'm going to put more effort into this stuff in terms of editing, videos, output, all that stuff. I'm going to do my best. It's hard because I'm a one-man person right now, but next year may not be the case. So stay tuned for that. You never know. I have some plans and ideas because next year it is time to put some things into action. I've had some videos that I've been planning out, been writing out, things like that. And it's going to be so much fun to shoot and actually get involved in. I'm looking forward to that. But 2026, guys, if you are subscribed, you're going to love 2026 for Casually Cultured. From shorts to longer videos. I may even do TikTok. I don't know yet. I'm still with it, but it may come to that point where I actually do set up a TikTok account. So all the people that is following us right now and subscribe, thank you so much. And if you please follow all our socials at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And like I said, we may have more on the way. Now, let's get into this conversation. Man, today's conversation is going to be neat. We're going to talk about the afterlife, right? Don't get scared now. Don't get scared. It's going to be okay. Trust me, it's going to be okay. You ain't dead. I ain't dead just yet. Hopefully not for a very long time, but it's going to be okay. All right, calm. Just stay calm. It's going to be a fun conversation. I want to talk about what happens after we die, because that is the most human nature thing to ask. What happens when we die? Is it over? It's just over. We are scared of the afterlife because we don't know what could happen to us, you know. Now, people of faith will say, "Oh, I know what's going to happen to us." But human nature, we have faith in that. But human nature is just like, I don't know, man. I don't see it, you know. I get it, all right. As a Catholic, self-disclosure, I am a Catholic, so I do believe in heaven and hell, right? But for this conversation, though, I thought it'd be more fun to actually just, hypothesize and speculate on other possibilities that could happen to us, right? All right. So let's have some fun with this. All right. Let me get the boring kind of stuff out of the way. I don't want to just linger on these too much, so I'm gonna get the boring ones out of the way. The first one I'm gonna get out of the way is nothing. Some people believe that nothing happens when you die. You're just empty blackness. Your soul's gone. And that's it. You're done. I don't like that idea personally. It's boring, it's depressing, and not for me. So I'm gonna skip that one. I mentioned it because I just didn't want to feel like I didn't skip anything, but I mentioned it. We're done now. All right, moving on to the next one. The next one I'm gonna kind of go through a little fast is the idea of death and rebirth. All right, so the idea of this is once you die, you're automatically reborn into a whole new being in the same timeline. Like if I was to die right now in 2025, I'll probably be reborn as another black guy or white guy or something, or a girl in the same year, because a lot of people die every year and then a lot of people are born every year. So like your soul just transitions over to a whole new body and being, and you're just that new person now, right? That's how that's how I visualize it when I talk about it in this context. Okay. So kind of simple, right? So death and rebirth. So when you die, your soul transitions over to a whole new body and being, and you're now that whole new body and being, new family, new culture, new country, all of it, right? The next one is the idea, same concept as birth and death and rebirth, but it's now transitioned into the future. So like if you were to die now, your soul would transition over to many years later, like 2040 or 2045, when you're born into that time period instead of just being born in 2025. Same concept, but just different timeline. All right, cool. Everybody got those? I wanted to get those out of the way because they were simple. Not really have to go into much in depth with it. You kind of get the idea of it though, right? Cool. Now, here's the fun one. Let's start with this one first. This idea is when you die, your soul transitions over into a whole new planet. Think about this. We have our planets in our solar system, but there are other galaxies out there that have been proven that other planets exist in this world, in this universe, right? Now, I do believe in aliens, right? I do believe because I just don't see a way that you can have like millions and different planets and we're the only livable species on said planet. I just don't believe that. I find that to be kind of impossible, but it is what it is. So what if you die, right? And your body, your soul transitions over into a whole new planet world, right? So think about it, like you die and now you're in a whole new solar system, a whole new galaxy to where gravity is different from Earth's, where you could probably jump higher or it's harder to jump, who knows? Your air is different. You're probably seeing a different sun, maybe 2 or 3 suns. Who knows? It's very possible, right? Your body appendages are different. You may have longer fingers, or you may have longer toes, or your arms are your legs, and your legs are your arms, and your head is on your privates, and your privates is your head. Who knows? It could be anything. You could probably have 2 dicks, and not where you think they might be. You might have 3 nipples. You never know, but your body is just different. But you wouldn't know it because that's how you grow up. You grew up in a whole new culture, a whole new social construct. Everything is just different, right? Because you live on a whole different planet. That is a fascinating thing to think about. Like, we don't know what aliens would look like. You could be something that is just an abomination for all we know, from a human's perspective, but could be completely normal in an alien's world. They might even call themselves aliens. They have maybe different language for it, and also different language. You speak a whole different language, but alien language, like how they communicate, how they fornicate. We don't know, but it's a fascinating idea of like, you die and then now you're just born into a brand new universe, a brand new world. Drink, like, water's different, the food's different, the wildlife is different, like everything is just different. And you wouldn't know it because you're light years away from your past self. You don't, like, your past self is dead now, and you are in a whole new planet where everything is just completely different. The idea of taking pictures, the idea of Christmas, the idea of Halloween, the idea of school, like all that stuff is just, it's a concept that we've constructed here on this planet, but it's not, it may not be the same way on a whole different planet. I find that to be fascinating. Like, could you really imagine you dying and then being reborn into a whole new world of possibilities? Like, I think that's fact. Like, the concept of gender and sex could be just not existent in the alien planet. Who knows? Money could not be a concept over there. I don't know. Technology could be so different. They may have flying cars over there. Heck, the sports they play is different. Like, the football may not be football, but it'd be something with a ball or frisbee or appendages. I don't know, but I don't know. But just imagine living in that world where they have a past and they have, different ideas and the philosophers, and it will blow my mind thinking about that. That is such a wild concept, man. I love it. Now, I have 3 more left I want to talk about. 3 more. Let's get this one out of the way because this one's fun too. Let's say you die, right? And you die and you have like a karma system, right? Of course, we look at religion is kind of like a good and bad. We like, oh, if you're good, you go to heaven, and if you're bad, you go to hell. But same concept, but let's just say you're reincarnated as an animal, right? Or something else. Maybe you're a plant or something. But like, you have a karma system for like good or bad, right? So if you're good, you get a, good animal. Now, what is considered a good animal? I don't know. Like, that's based off perspective. Same thing with bad animals. Now, for me personally, I would look at a bad animal as a cat. To all my cat lovers, I'm sorry, but cats are chaotic. I don't like cats. I have a joke about cats, but I won't tell you that right now. Ask me about that later. But yeah, maybe like a cat, cockroach, ant, caterpillars, snakes, spiders, like those kind of animals I consider like could be in the bad category. For a good category, you have like maybe a dolphin, a seal, a polar bear, or a panda bear, because panda bears are cute. Let's be honest, panda bears are cute. Maybe a tiger. You know, I know lions are supposed to be king of the jungle, but a tiger, sadly, are better. You know, for me personally, if I could choose the animal that I want to be reincarnated into, give me the elephant. Man, I'm telling you, the elephant is a beast. They're kind. They don't need much. They just need a lot of food. They got the long trunks. They got the horns. You know, they're just chilling. They can smile at you. They'll play with you. You know, man, give me the elephant. If I was to die and reincarnate as any animal, give me the elephant, because like I said, their hide is strong. The only thing bad about them is that they can't run fast. I think they probably run faster than a human. I don't know. I've never been chased by no elephant. Don't want to. But, you know, and you know, not many animals going to mess with an elephant. You know, try to mess with an elephant, you can get stomped out. The trunk will mess you up. Man, the elephants can fight. They're strong now. They're strong. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I will definitely take the elephant. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right. This is going to be fun. These are my next two. Well, there's really one, but there's two different aspects of it, okay? The first one is the idea of dying and then going back and being reborn at the same time and the same year as your previous self, right? Now, the two aspects of this is this. Either A, you come back with no knowledge of what your previous life was, so you're pretty much doing a complete restart of your life, or B, you come back with all memory of your previous life and you go from there. Now, the first one, if I were to come back as myself but have no memory of what I've done, said, or did in my previous life, I find this to be very interesting and fascinating, because what are the odds that I would make the same choices again, right? The probability of that, right? What is the probability of really making those same choices? Would I still do casually cultured, right? Would I still want to do the job I wanted to do? Would I find interest in the things I find interested in? Would I still be cultured? Right? Like, I don't know, because there's so many different possibilities of how things turned out. You know, the choices we make in this first run through of our life, you know, the only run through, but the first one, it's an interesting thing to think about. Is like, would I make those same choices again if I didn't know that I had made those choices, right? It's a fascinating thing, right? Because I really don't know what would happen. Like, everything, if free will and free choice and all that stuff is true, I would think that some choices I would probably make the same, some I wouldn't, but we just wouldn't know. Like, what are the odds of me just repeating every single thing I've ever done? To do that at a 100%, I just don't believe that's a probability of happening. I don't think we would all make the same choices 100% of the time in our next life. Even without the knowledge we had from our previous timeline, from our previous life, we would not make 100% the same choices. I think there are some things that would be said and done differently. To what extent of that, I have no idea. But it's a fun experiment to think about. A fun experiment. Now, the next aspect, like I said, is going back in time and having all your memories from your previous life, right? This one is interesting because there are the roads not taken, right? The options were there that we could have said and did and we didn't do, or we did do, made the wrong choice, sometimes the right choice. But think about this. If you were to change, you know, things you've done in the past because you have knowledge of what you've done, like, I'd be smarter because I have all the knowledge from my high school, elementary, middle school, college. I have all that knowledge at the get-go. So when I'm born, you know, first I gotta get the motor skills, the brain's gotta run, like, all that stuff. But once I'm in that mode, I'm like, oh, I remember all this. This is easy. You're like a genius at that point. So then, like, if I were to graduate high school at the age of 12 and go to college at the age of 13 or 14, and like I'm already like this massive genius and whatnot because I'm so damn smart. I mean, like, the world changes around you. The people you knew, you don't know anymore because now you've ingratiated yourself in a whole new world of possibilities. the road that you taken in your first run through of life are not the same that you take in your second run through, because all the choices you've made now have opened doors and possibilities of just a whole new fraction of the world you didn't see the first time, right? So the people you've married, you may not have married. The kids you have may not exist, because now you have the knowledge of the lotteries and the championship games and things like that. Like, you placing money on this stuff, you making buckets of money right now. Like, if, you know, because let's be honest, a lot of times we went back in past, we probably invested in a lot of stuff. Google, Amazon, Netflix, blah, blah, whatever. Let's be honest, we all be doing that. We all be doing that. But like I said, you do that, but your whole world changes now. The person you found in the first run through may not be the same person. And also think about this, the choices you make because you change things, now you are in a position where you're not gonna follow the same thing. So now you're in unknown territory now. So anything you've known from the past may not apply now, because now you're just in unknown territory. So this is like the butterfly effect, right? You change so much that now it's like, where is this going? Because you don't know. The people you've known, you don't know. The world and life you've lived, you don't live that anymore. Everything's changed. Now, how much has that changed? I can't say, because, you know, we don't know. We don't know. Only you would know that. And you think about your path and the choices you've made, and, you know, you wonder to yourself, like, man, like, if I made this choice here, would I end up with this person? If I made this choice here, would I be in this career? If I did this or that? Like, that is such a fascinating thing to think about. It can really make your brain just kind of twist in knots. You know what I'm saying? it's so fun to think about, like, all the different possibilities you could do if you were to have that second chance without the knowledge and with the knowledge, right? So yeah, those are the things that were running through my brain about the afterlife, the conversation about the afterlife, ladies and gentlemen. But tell me what you think, man. Tell me what you think down below in those comment sections. Please subscribe, share with your friends, like this video so we can get some traction, because every like you give us gives this video more traction than other people to see it. I want other people to have this conversation. I want to see different, you know, things that people can think about what happens in the afterlife, because I think that'd be fun. But let me know what you guys think, man. And always, man, always, thank you again. I love you guys. And I can't wait to show you guys what is 2026 gonna look like. We're gonna have a lot of fun. And with that, guys, I want to say peace, love, bye.